Tonight, a Victoria man is dead after being killed during an accident on a South Texas oil field. And tonight, the investigation into answers surrounding his death is underway. Good evening and thanks so much for joining us for News Center 25 at 10 o'clock. I'm Jonathan McCall. Lacey has a night off. This all happened this morning at an oil field in Kennedy County. And this afternoon and this evening, News Center 25 Sally Mamdou has been looking into this story. She joins us live tonight in the newsroom with all of the new details. Sally, thanks so much. The search continues tonight for 10 workers missing from a Texas-based oil rig in the Gulf of Mexico. We first told you about this on News Center 25 at 6. The workers are contractors with Houston-based Geokinetics. The workers were being evacuated from that rig as a precaution of Tropical Storm Nate. Officials at the company say they abandoned ship after their lift boat began to take on water in the Bay of Campeche. Officials say the life raft they're on does not have a radio on board, but is stocked with enough food, water, and supplies for several days. Workers' families so far have been notified. Rescue boats and helicopters have been called in to help with that search. We're going to have the very latest on this story throughout the weekend and as more developments become available. Tonight, a major Victoria road is once again open after being closed for 15 hours due to a hydrochloric acid leak. That leak was discovered last night at the Halliburton facility on Highway 59 and Hold Road. Traffic was diverted as a precaution. Roads were also closed at Burrowsville Road and the Telferner exit. Victoria Police and Fire, along with Victoria County Sheriffs and the Texas Department of Transportation, all responded to that scene. The spill forced residents in the area to hunker down in place and close down the Victoria Airport for some time. The all clear was finally given around 3 this afternoon. Officials say more than 11,000 gallons of that acid spilled from that tank, but was contained to just the property. Tonight, News Center 25 made several attempts to reach officials at Halliburton for a comment regarding the incident, but so far our calls have gone unreturned. Firefighters continued their battle near Houston on one of many wildfires in the Lone Star State tonight. They did receive some help, though, from a DC-10 jumbo jet that dumped retardant in 3 rural counties north of Houston. The fire in Montgomery, Grimes, and Waller counties have charred nearly 22,000 acres and have forced thousands to evacuate their homes. Texas Forest Service officials say the fire is not a threat to towns or nearby cities. So far, 58 structures have been destroyed, 23 damaged from the fire, and it is only about 50% contained. Tonight, there is some good news for fire crews battling the largest of Texas's wildfires in the Bastrop area. Officials say after a week of battling, it doesn't appear the fire has advanced. As crews look to contain that firestorm, another one is heating up. As residents left homeless from those fires now turn their attention to what they need to do to move forward. Some are voicing frustration over a perceived delay in federal response. FEMA officials say they just received the first request from Governor Rick Perry for individual aid. For more than a week, firefighters have been working to contain the Bastrop fire, which has burned more than 34,000 acres and destroyed nearly 1,400 homes. New tonight at 10 o'clock, a 2-year-old Dallas girl is on life support. Her mom behind bars charged with child abuse, and the reason why may leave you speechless. We do want to warn you, some of the details of this story may be graphic. Police say 22-year-old Elizabeth Escalona glued her daughter's hands to a wall, kicked her in the stomach, and beat the girl, all because she had problems potty training. Police records show the glue was stuck to the girl's palms with skin torn away in some places. Escalona now faces charges of injury to a child. If convicted, she could face life in prison. Just hours after his speech before a joint session of Congress, President Obama hit the road today to sell his $447 billion jobs proposal. During his speech last night, President Obama called for a mix of tax cuts, infrastructure spending, and aid to local governments to spur job growth. Today, before an enthusiastic crowd in Richmond, Virginia, he urged voters to pressure lawmakers to pass his plan. The response to the president's plan has been mixed. House Majority Leader Eric Cantor, in whose district the president spoke today, said the GOP is prepared to work with the administration, but others say the plan offers nothing new. And tonight, the White House says the President's Jobs Act could create nearly 142,000 jobs in the Lone Star State. The numbers look like this. Just over 64,000 jobs would be available in construction. Nearly 40,000 would be created in teaching, while nearly 38,000 first responders could be hired and trained. The plan would also cut payroll taxes for 390,000 businesses in the state. Governor Perry quickly dismissed the plan, saying it, quote, offers little hope for millions of Americans who have lost jobs. Security has been stepped up in New York and Washington, D.C. after federal authorities received a credible terror threat timed to the 10th anniversary of the September 11th attacks. Intelligence officials say the threat is, quote, not confirmed and there is no certainty an attack has been planned, but they're taking no chances. In D.C., extra police has been positioned around the White House. In New York and other locations around the Big Apple, random vehicle stops and bag searches are increasing. New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg took the subway today to work as usual, sending a message the city is still safe. The new terror threat comes just days before the 10th anniversary of the September 11th terror attacks. The focus of this weekend's New York commemoration will be on Ground Zero. The Memorial Museum is still under construction. It's been a decade in the making. The Memorial Plaza includes two pools and the footprints of where the World Trade Center's Twin Towers once stood. Engraved around the edges, the names of nearly 3,000 people killed that day. The Crossroads also remembering the 9/11 attacks during a ceremony at Citizens Hospital this morning. The ceremony honored all of the first responders, featured prayer, speakers, and an honorary flyover. It ended with a traditional playing of taps. A guest speaker featured Colonel Michael Keller from Lubbock, whose 30-year career with the Army Reserve included several tours of duty in Kuwait and Iraq. Keller been awarded several medals, including the Bronze Star. Area first responders and medical staff were also in attendance, along with several hundred local citizens. As the September 11th anniversary approaches, we'd like for you to share your thoughts on where you were 10 years ago when you first learned that the Twin Towers were struck. You can share your thoughts on our Facebook page. Well, also a disturbing story tonight. Hackers hijacked the Twitter account of NBC News this evening, even posted false messages about a new attack on New York's Ground Zero. A group called the Script Kiddies has claimed responsibility for the attack. NBC confirmed the attack and said it was working with Twitter to correct the situation. The company also apologized for the scare, saying it was a reckless and irresponsible act. You may remember the same group claimed responsibility for hacking the Fox News Twitter account some months ago, posting reports President Obama had been killed. New tonight at 10 o'clock, the power is back on for millions who were left in the dark last night. We first told you about this last night at 10 o'clock about the massive outage that left some 6 million people in California, Arizona, and Mexico without power. The lights may be on, but officials are still urging residents and businesses to go easy on the appliances, at least for now. Tonight, officials are trying to figure out how a utility worker managed to make a single mistake that caused all of those problems. This year alone, U.S. Airways has successfully raised its. Before hitting the friendly skies, be prepared to open up your wallets just a little bit more. Once again, several airlines have raised fees. U.S. Airways, United, Delta, American, and Southwest are all hiking up their fees about $5. The increase is for same-day walk-up fares typically associated with business travelers. Taking a look outside, it's going to be another hot and dry weekend. Bill's up next with a look at your forecast.